Hello everyone, welcome to Big Blast Marketing. Today we're going to call out a stock, um, Webull. We're getting it ready. It's a little like it's setting up for a nice takeoff. And if you're a first time visitor, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. For those of you that are already members, thank you for liking and subscribing, and I hope we get some good movement out of this one. We did pretty good with our previous trades on Rocket Lab. Currently has a little bit of a pause because the president came out and started talking about the tariffs again, but I think it's just a little bit of a pause for now. We'll have to play it accordingly though. It looks like it's getting ready to fall off, and make sure you lock in some of those profits on that Rocket Lab trade. Alright, so anyway, as always, we got to go. So now we're going to be calling out our Webull, okay, because we look like Webull is starting to consolidate at around $12, between $12 and $13. Okay, now it did this big pump here when it opened up on the 14th of April and pushed all the way up to $79.56. Okay, now it had opened up this gap here. Okay, this window that it opened. Alright, we knew we needed at some point to come back and reconcile this window. And so they didn't mess around at all. They just, immediately as it hit this $80 area, it just immediately just started selling off. Okay, and this is a daily chart. I believe it's 3 months in a day. 6 months in a day. Alright, so this is 6 months of bars. 6 months of daily bars. So after this bar here, it just every day just continued to sell off, sell off, sell off. Well, now we're down around here around $12, and you can't really tell on this chart, so we have to get it, have to get it smaller. So if we go to our 3 months chart, or we just do 1 month in a day, and we get a little bit better picture of the bars, but not really as good as we would like to see. But we do know we're getting some support in this area here. Oops, get rid of that. Change this to, alright, in this area here, okay, which is $12.14 right there for now, but we'll take a bit closer look at that. Alright, as we go to a smaller time frame, because for some reason on this Thinkorswim charting, it won't give me what I really want to see as far as these daily bars, and there may be a way to manipulate it, but I'm going to leave it the way it is because I do like it when I'm doing further time frames out. So we're going to go down to the 30-minute time frame. So we'll do 10 days and 30 minutes. Alright, so these are 30-minute bars, 10 days worth of 30-minute bars. Okay. And as you can see, like I said, here in this $12 area, we've come down from $17. We hit this area here, which, let's see if we can get a, so the low on that bar that day was $12.20. Okay, so our lowest bar other than here where we think we found our bottom, $12 area. And our lowest point of that $12 area is probably right in here. Alright, right there. And that price range is $11.98. Okay, so anywhere between $11.98 and up here around $13 or so, $13.53. Okay, it could be our our range of trading. Okay, so in other words, what we really would like to see is that we'll keep, accumulating down around $12. Okay, picking up more and more shares around here. Of course, with our stop being down here at around below 11.98, or even, depending on what your risk profile is, you can even have your stop down here around $11.60. Okay, and that's just depends on how you or your risk profile is for you, how much you want to risk on your particular trade. Okay, there's a way to kind of calculate that. If you want to put your trade on, I have a video of how to build this trading chart to help you with those kind of things. So you can go back and look for that video. But if we look at our bull, alright, and we want to get shares of that, 100 shares at $12. Let's say $12.15, just in case it doesn't want to go back lower than that. Alright, so your total cost will be $1,215. Okay, so our price target on this particular trade that we're putting together, okay, so we want to get in here and we want to get up above this $14 area, but we do know that the stock hit 80 bucks. Okay, so we would really, if we could get back to that $80. So $80 would be our target, and in our stop price, of course, we said was $11.60, or make it $11.59. Okay. All right. So we're risking $56 to make $6,000 potentially. Okay. And as this trade continues to play out, let's go back to our chart here. Okay. As this continues to play out, now what we're looking to do on this is we want to get up above this area here at about $14. Okay. We're going to call that our next support area. As you can see, it just kept hitting this area and getting rejected. So as it hits up here and rejects, then we wait for the pullback, get some more, same thing. Now if you want, you could be buying down in here, and as it gets up here, taking some off, just in case it doesn't pop and it just keeps doing this trading range. You can just keep, making a few bucks here and there as it does this little bouncing around thing. But once we get up above this area here and we find some support, and usually what we kind of, well, I shouldn't say usually, but what we're expecting to see is we'll get above this $14 area. Okay. And what we want is to kind of push up, and then if we have to pull back, find some support, and then another push higher. It's kind of what we want. And let's go back to the monthly chart. 6 months and a day. No, that's not. Alright. Okay, so we know that we have this this green bar come in, get rejected, and this one came in and got rejected. And then we put in this small red bar here. Okay, so we know this area is an area of resistance here, alright, which may be even a little bit higher above in here somewhere. Probably like right in here, really. Okay, about $14.38 or so. Alright, so that's really what we want to get above. Through there, come back, find some support here in this area, this $14 area. I'm not saying that $14.36 is our support, but this area is an area of interest as far as support is concerned, which should put us above our moving averages, our 200 and our 20, our actually that's 200 also. So our 200 moving averages. We got our 20-day coming down overhead, and we got our 8 or our 9 underneath as support, and we also have our 40 overhead as resistance. So our price target, our immediate price target, is about $14 or so. Okay, after that we want to try to push on through and get up above this area here where we got this double bar rejection here, right, which was about $18. So as this swing trade continues, and it usually, you know, swing trades, you don't really go too long, but we know we're not long-term holders of this particular stock. We will be if it continues to go higher, but once it gives us a sign that it's gonna, you know, that there's a failure coming in, then we'll probably, you know, cut it and wait for the support and then jump back in as it starts to show that it's ready to start going higher again. Okay, so that's just a quick I just quickly wanted to put this out for you. I don't want to go too long into it because it's not even ready yet. We're waiting on that bar to come in. Once we get a nice bar pushing up higher, showing that the buyers have come in and bought it up, and the prices are going higher, then we'll be jumping in. But meanwhile, I'll be consolidating down in this area here around $12. Picking up shares as it goes, and just waiting to see when it's ready to pop. And when that happens, then I'll, you know, accumulate more. But that's just kind of how I plan to play the trade. I suspect, and of course you have to keep an eye on it, and I'll update it as it continues to move. That way you guys know when it's time to jump in, if you're not setting it up on your charts to keep an eye on it as well. But I do believe that it's consolidating in this area and planning to take off at some point. I just don't know exactly when that point's going to be, so you got to be nimble, quick, and ready for it to do whatever it's going to do. Or even if it doesn't do it, it may turn around and just sell off again. So you might be ready to you know, put your stops on and be ready to get out of the trade. That's just, you know, how the game is played. So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be careful out there. These markets are crazy.